Here we are, it's playing. Okay. I don't know what they changed about the GoPro app recently that they now preview doesn't seem to be standard function. Anyway, it's the morning of Tuesday, June 11th? 9th? Oh, I'm off a bit. I finished the truck on Saturday morning and drove it a little more, and I didn't show the first drive like I did when I first put the rebuilt transmission back in, but I don't know. Now I want to show it and prove and with confidence say the transmission is rebuilt and functioning well. So let's go for a drive. Let's drive to work. I'm driving to work. It's really nice out. Excusez-moi. Hope my angle's right here with the camera angle. I bet it's good. I bet it's, maybe I'll tilt up just a smidgen here. What mode am I in? Oh, it looks like maybe wide, or maybe this is linear, but my angle seems great, so let's rock it. I still have some things, I don't know, like I don't think the choke is working properly, or I think the carburetor just needs adjustment, and so I'm gonna mess around with that. And along with I also am needing to put in a new exhaust gasket, where I disconnected the exhaust multiple times to work on the transmission. It's right after the manifold to the downpipe and the rest of the exhaust. That little gasket was beat up, but I was not gonna wait on the part. It was taking a long time to get the part. Hopefully it's at the auto parts store soon, and so you might hear a little excess engine noise.
After time.
Let's keep it quiet. Neutral. The shifter overall just feels really great. Feels better than it did before. And I guess I'm not sure, what would really cause that other than just taking things apart and cleaning them a little bit and lubricating them. And then I guess, as far as the shift forks and the rods and the detents, reverses. You kind of got to be running to get into reverse sometimes. You need that spinning. Okay, I'm gonna go foot off the gas, and you can just hear how it wants to start. See, so I think now I'll that should be choke engaged. So high idle mode. It's warm. High idle mode knocked down a peg. So, actually maybe things are working quite fine, because I would say that's fully functioning. Now that I think about that, Not too shabby. Put on my sunny clips here. And take a second, let it warm up as I clean my glasses. I'm kind of an old man in my, I don't know, in my rituals. I like it. I let my car warm up a little bit. My truck, rather. It's a truck, I always call it a car. guess I'm used to having a car, but it's a truck. It is a proper truck with a frame and a cab and a box. That classifies it as a truck, I think, right? Anyway, my truck car. My car-sized truck. Hear that idle shifting? It really runs, the engine runs quite smoothly when it's in this high idle. Now, I don't have a revolution meter. I don't know why I can never remember the term. An odometer? I thought that's an odometer. That's a speedometer. A water temp gauge. A gas level gauge. A revolutions per minute gauge. I don't have one of those in this truck, so you know, I can only guess what my RPMs are right now. But it's, I knowing this truck, I know this is still a slight high idle mode. It's not fully unchoked, or whatever you would call it. We'll see if it'll do it if I press it again. That seems a little lower even. It's a real progressive thing. It's kind of nice. It works pretty well in the winter, you know. It's really good for the cold weather. That sort of idle helper. I adjusted it the other day after getting this truck running. I adjusted the idle set screw, and so it's a little stronger than before. A little higher. A little more aggressive. He's gonna fall over, but that's okay. Clutch feels good in general. I feel like when I had the other transmission in, there was a weird, like, just not, the clutch was not smooth like it should be. So I don't know if I was, you know, it could have been multiple things, but I think it was likely that something was up. That transmission that I put in was not mating up with the block properly, and so I don't know if the throwout bearing or the clutch release bearing, whatever you like to call it, when that pushed on the pressure plate, it was not a very smooth engagement. And now the same clutch fork, the pivot arm, same but release bearing, same pressure plate, same clutch slave cylinder and master cylinder. None of that changed, just the different transmission. And maybe I greased well, I know I greased it on the other one. Anyway, just interesting observations of how things have changed, and goes into reverse really nicely. I'll roll the window down so we can hear things, but you'll hear, I mean, it just, no sound from the transmission at all. It just sounds quiet. Goodbye, goats. There's low idle. You want to hear that? Maybe it's almost a little too low of an idle. Maybe I just should adjust it to be a little bit faster. I don't know. That's what I'll mess around with, you know. I think I have it at the factory setting, the carburetor default setting of 1.5 turns out from seated. Okay, guys, this is why it's fun to not always cut your grass regularly, because you get beautiful flowers like that. Still haven't remembered to identify that one, but isn't it fun? I don't know what it is about tall grass prairie. Maybe here we should consider this a short grass prairie. But there always seems to be these complementary colors existing from different species, but they will, like right now we've got red clover, and we've got some kind of Fabaceae, like do you see right where I'm pointing? It's some kind of purple pea it's maybe even an invasive species, I don't know, but then with this orange, beautiful orange flower that for some reason I want to call like Hound's Bane or something like that, but is that it? I don't know. Totally going off of, and I just mean the orange and the purple are so complementary. And later on throughout the year, there's other flowers that will do a similar color combination, like the butterfly milkweed and the ironweed, or I don't know, it's just beautiful. Maybe it's we who, I don't know. Why nature? Okay, just listen to this transmission, folks. You can't hear anything, can you? You just hear the little tick, 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 tick of the engine, and I think that's basically because I got the leaky exhaust gasket. We'll see. My engine has always had a little tick, 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 and I adjusted the valves and that sort of thing, but the valve lash or whatever you call it. We'll keep working on that. I would love to have just a top-notch, you know, running little engine, but I'm so happy to have a nicely running transmission.